Then again, if you have estrogen, all hope is lost. Cosmos, you should know who it is every time. What's going on with y'all? It is the true Cosmic himself. So, we are a couple of hours removed from SmackDown. I just wanted to, of course, especially when talking about I just want to mention when talking about, as I'm getting the chance and the privilege to talk about what I'm just talking about right now on Jey Uso and about this, going to SummerSlam, the potentiality setting that up, and everything surrounding the story. Of course, I may not get the chance to do anything, or it's kind of hard to do, and at the same time to want to talk about the subjects and just like the type of topics you want to bring up. And it's very hard to talk about, especially that also have to just keep up and just worry about what's going to happen next in the news, what's going to come out, and you pay attention to stuff like always 24/7. So I always want to take what I like, just like with the Britt Baker, that kind of set ablaze, and I kind of gave a little sense on that. If y'all want to watch the Logan Paul, it kind of all sets everything up in that, with what I just talked about, the whole Logan Paul video, and Ric Flair saying that Logan Paul is better than 70% of the whole roster. So you can go look at that. But yeah, I definitely want to may not come a time where that I get a little bit, but do I get the chance to in regards to Jey Uso, to talking about such topics like this. Oh, but yeah. So yeah, I saw a little post. I want to set it up. So I saw a little post. Oh, my apologies about that. But yeah, I saw a little post on Facebook, and apparently, well, we've been hearing this ever since then. I guess since this whole collaboration again, or this whole new built world, and just a whole new the new character and reinvention, just everything surrounding the story with, and just the bloodline and Roman Reigns, Tribal Chief, and a new beginning. We've always been hearing about The Rock. Oh, he may come back, but The Rock may make a return and set up a potential match at WrestleMania. The next WrestleMania between Roman Reigns and The Rock may go at it after this potential, which is most likely looking at after this story that goes down. Of course, what's currently Roman is fighting his cousins and everything like that. That's probably the most likely, if not, that's probably the next stage as we get into Roman Reigns, all in all, basically handing it up, or that's calling the curtain. And yeah, I've heard, been hearing those rumors, pretty much hear those rumors just every day, or the fact that as we get closer, that The Rock may come back, or they may have worked something out to have The Rock, and to have The Rock gets to be involved in this story. And what I wanted to really dig deep into is that for all, because when you truly look back in history, I mean, you look that that really completes their stories, these wrestlers legends who completes their stories and the journey that they walk, Hulk Hogan with Andre the Giant, or you could say Randy Savage, or if it's Shawn Michaels and Bret, you can even say The Undertaker, or of course Undertaker and Kane, Stone Cold and The Rock, Triple H and Mick Foley, John Cena and Randy Orton, or you can say John Cena and Edge. Of course, people like to bring that up. You always look back at that in history, and especially now when you talk about the character of Roman Reigns, you can't sit here and tell any different. There's definitely no character It's not Brock Lesnar. Good gosh, it's not Brock Lesnar. Not even Sami Zayn. And as much as people wants to force to have everybody believe, and really want to force, this laughable narrative that it's that Cody Rhodes completes that story or finish the story, to really put that stamp on as far as like Roman Reigns is considered. And that's all I'm gonna leave on that. But we know who completes this story. We know when it comes, like I said, what I just mentioned, all throughout history, when it comes to this generation, and then when it comes to just the megastar Roman Reigns, and what completes what's going on right now with that, and with the bloodline and everything surrounding that. The person that when it's all said and done, the person that completes that from Roman Reigns is Jey Uso. It's not a doubt about that. You can believe what you want to believe, but there's nobody else except Jey Uso that goes hand in hand. Without Jey Uso, you don't have Roman. You don't have the story as big as it is. As that's going to be. It goes down as legendary, as impactful as it is, as such that makes as rich as it is going down in professional wrestling history. It's just impossible. And you can say what you want, but it's impossible. There's nothing else. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso is, Roman Reigns is essentially the Green Goblin to Jey Uso Spider-Man, the Batman to Joker, and it's the Superman to Brainiac. Like that is what those, when you talk about such pairings, the perfect babyface against the hellish heel. That's that. And like, I've been meaning to desperately want to talk about this ever since then. I just there's always been a certain coming up, or just getting in the way of that. But definitely, I don't know. Did I? I don't think I have. But except at this point, but I feel like definitely for sure what would cap up on this story, and we know the perfect way to end this story. The way it's going, for sure that, and that's the only picture I had. So don't really take that to heart, but. Yeah, I feel like, of course, the perfect way. I feel like the perfect way to finish this story. Not only, of course, if it is or it isn't, The Rock returning, we're fighting off the blood. Yeah, this time, The Rock, like how The Rock helped, back in 2015, he helped Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble, and that was probably, I don't know if Roman looks back, but. Probably like one of the proudest moments, not only a family member, but helping him, put him over it, and then going forward as far as like making him really, really legit. And then you have The Rock, and to then have The Rock come in and help Jey Uso, go over, and then basically defeat. That's like betrayal. And when Roman looking at it, that's like, betrayal. That's like, how could you do this? Like, you helped me achieve so far. You helped me go to get to the level that I'm at now. And it's like, that's how I see it going down at SummerSlam. If that happens, that's how I see it going down at SummerSlam. The Rock coming back to help Jey Uso win. Of course, with whether it's just whichever title they give him, whether it's the Universal or WWE Championship, when Roman Reigns is keeping the Universal Championship. And I don't know, like I said, I hope, but it could definitely go down that way. And then it could be another. It could just be in the falling, just the climatic story of Roman Reigns. And I feel like because it also goes deeper too, because I feel like they can, not only you have this perfect story close out, and then when The Rock almost essentially, just basically betraying Roman Reigns almost to a certain. He feel like but and Roman looks at that almost like he betrays him. He was betraying him, and raising the hand of the new champion and embracing Jey Uso. It's like and of course we already know what's going into that new direction. We're just talking about it, Roman Reigns and The Rock, and I definitely feel like this as the start as Roman Reigns is essentially being humbled, and where Roman Reigns is essentially like losing everything, and he gets to see the light in the era of his ways and what he has done to himself and his family. For sure that this could be like how I've been hearing also for the longest, that I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, but they also might getting close. They might also if it doesn't turn out like he's not leaving, or at least for us like some time to take a break, but if he's not leaving anytime soon for Hollywood, he this is like what I'm getting into right now. This is the perfect way, because I've been hearing also that they might turn him babyface. By the time the story fully closes, the Bloodline story, they might, they're gonna have him turn. That's just like it's what I hear. I don't know if it actually turns out to be true, but that's what I hear. And I don't know if that's if anybody else had known that, but I kind of heard that in the background, that Roman they might go back, or ending up is what the perfect, because I seeing it like they might turn Roman Reigns as a superhero babyface, and and this could be the perfect way to do it too, going into that route too, just being that. But the reason why too, just of course that, and why I think people also agree, and why it's such a even back then I probably wouldn't be okay with Sami Zayn winning the title, but and just look at it, and this being the story as it is, and being how thought provoking and just emotional, and daunting and interesting it's it has been all throughout the saga. And Jey Uso just always being at the hands, being left at the hands of Roman Reigns, and he essentially did. He basically already got his moment at Money in the Bank, where they ultimately let him get that pin, and that ended the 3-year monstrous run of Roman Reigns not being pinned, and in about 3 years. So I think people will also say that practically, and I can kind of also agree with that Jay pretty much got his moment. He pretty much got his own conclusion to his story. So but also, even though if or not that they decide that they got the chance now to bring The Rock back, it of course might end up, because like I said, we also got to look at the fact that of course, if you didn't already know by now, that Roman Reigns is definitely keeping those titles until WrestleMania 40. So I guess we pretty much already knew that, but this is why even not giving him, he might not even get any of the titles that Roman's holds. And I feel like this would be definitely be the right way to go, for Roman, for Jey Uso to have that, to get that WWE Championship, and to really put the cake in on that as it starts the the disappearing, deceding fall of Roman Reigns. It puts the perfect stamp on that, the Roman Empire falling. And it's they can it's a possibility. It's definitely and it wouldn't go down. It's it would definitely for sure. It would just, not to say like I said, they pretty much got a kind of a story that they already been gotten going, but I feel like it would still be just the perfect conclusion to not only the bloodline, but to Jey Uso's story, and finally getting his him over and sticking it to Roman Reigns, not just the character, but yeah, finally, because people act like, not only because I feel again probably like still a certain people that goes around and still feels like Jay, of course they'll always be the Usos, but no, like I feel especially like the last few years, Jay has definitely proved himself to be a top champion, and I'm glad too. Like I see other people say the same thing, and yeah, there's no doubt that he should probably they should give him the WWE Championship, because he like not only main event Jey Uso, like he has that type of that look about it. Like so much has changed for like in a decade for not only the Usos but for Jey Uso. It's like it's like all around him too. Talking about a guy that can wrestle, he can talk on the mic, he has the look, he can. It's like like this dude, like like the swagger, like he can he practically can do it all. And that you're talking, that's a main event caliber, that's a megastar caliber of a talent, and for sure, like he is definitely a big player, if the name didn't already say so itself, in main event Jey Uso. So yeah, like I'll definitely this of course is definitely not a bad idea. That should be, or it would just even more so put the writing to the conclusion of the story. And yeah, like I said, I wouldn't definitely myself, I wouldn't have a problem. And yeah, like they should feel like they should definitely go into that way going forward. And of course down the line that they're still thinking, or yeah, we pretty much already know that they already have, still that Cody Rhodes they're gonna make it like, he dethroned, that Cody Rhodes dethroned Roman Reigns. Well, we actually know who did that, but yeah, like, having the undisputed title go to Cody, and then yeah, having at least, if not, I don't know, yeah, but have the WWE Championship go to Jey Uso, and this is how they cap that off. Well, I don't know, so like I said, if we're not The Rock, I say either way, because if not, The Rock comes back, because we already know then that's what's happening at WrestleMania 40. But if he doesn't, and it can go either way. Of like if Jey Uso gets, I mean, whether if it's, well, we are most likely not, but I'm just like saying that they go the way that Jey Uso might potentially, or we can just think that what if Jey Uso wins and have this title? Yeah, we already know what's happening at the next WrestleMania with Cody getting the other title. And I said it's just definitely, because when you look back, it's definitely the perfect conclusion, if it's not going to be already, leading up, well, at least leading up to what happened back between, really before finishing the full story. But yeah, I feel like this would be the perfect cap to that end of the story, with Jay finally getting his own over Roman, and it would just be, it would be perfect. There would be nothing better than the Jey Uso to, it's just, the hero finally conquering the villain, and that's what it is in this story. The cousin that always got beaten up by, essentially, like his older, or you want to say brother, or just like always got beaten up by the main, the main kid around the block, which that, or the main kid in their family, which is essentially, of course, Roman Reigns. And he felt like this would be that, that big W for Jay, and to spin that to Roman, and he would finally get that. And that's how I wholeheartedly feel, and I feel like they should definitely go, to just think about it, and to really like to plan out, to really like survey that what might go down. I feel like this is what should definitely go down and going forward, because yeah, this would it would just even more so be perfect to close this story, and that's what I fully believe that should happen for sure, like without a doubt. That should definitely happen. And yeah, I don't think I have anything or yeah, like what I mean, if y'all have any thoughts too, or y'all want to add anything, if that, to the conversation. But yeah, like I feel like when you just when it's all said and done, that Jey Uso, the only one that should dethrone, and as far as like, well, yeah, it was what I'm basically saying. This is like the whole point of what I'm saying is that yeah, the only one that should dethrone, the only person that has the right, that rightfully so, and that should dethrone Roman Reigns is Jey Uso. And it's when you look at the story that's been going on for the last 3 years, that should only be the only plan that should be going in to what if, the final decision when talking about dethroning Roman Reigns. And I'm always gonna stand on that, and that's what I fully believe, sure. And it all wraps up perfectly. But yeah, if you want to talk about it some more and go into it, we definitely for sure can. But yeah, I think that's the end of what I had to say. And yeah, hopefully you can I said, of course, opinions, but yeah, that's hopefully you can respect it. Enjoy yourself, Cosmos. I'm gonna see y'all very much later. Stay blessed.